Ask Dr. Khatz, Sidetracked in Salt Lake, Part 1, written by Momoko, posted in May of 2010. Maddie and Khatz go way back to carefree university days when they would put in long, chocolate milk-fueled hours in the underground computer laboratory, hacking away at never-ending oceans of code. Now, having landed the most awesome and lucrative job of video game programmer, it would seem Maddie has it all. There's one dream, however, that has remained elusively beyond the reach of this avid anime fan, gamer, and cosplay seamstress, the dream of learning Japanese. In this extensive conversation adapted from an IM chat, Khatz plays language therapist to the distressed would-be AJATT here. I always get sidetracked and fail. Narrator's note, this is written in terms of messages back and forth between Maddie and Khatz. I'm just gonna try to do a high-pitched voice for Maddie and then a lower voice for Khatz. If this is too annoying, just check out the link in the description and read it for yourself. Yeah, I don't know if I could listen to myself doing this voice, so I do not judge you for not wanting to listen to this. Anyway, back to it.
Khatz?
Yes, Maddykins?
Can I really teach myself Japanese? I've attempted a couple times, but I always get sidetracked and fail, and then I gotta start over when I try again. It's something I want to do, but I feel like if I really wanted it, I'd try harder.
Go on. I'm hearing you. Multiple failed attempts, leading to evidence for low confidence in this field. What were your previous attempts like? What did you do? How did it feel?
Well, I've never gotten super far. The first time I took a class that my friend had at my old job, we learned the hiragana and katakana, and then she started teaching us basic phrases and things. But few were very into it, and she got busy and fed up, and so that stopped. Then I decided about a year ago that I really was gonna do this. So I started learning the hiragana and katakana again, and I bought that learning kanji book that you said to go get, but I never really cracked it. Before I even got a handle on the basic symbols, kana again, I got sidetracked and stopped. Not sure why. I think other things just got in the way. I think it often feels daunting and overwhelming. I've never properly learned another language. When I took German in high school, I had 5 teachers in 3 years. I didn't come away with much at all. We were all terrible my 3rd year, and my teacher was very frustrated with us.
Okay, daunting. No previous success experience, getting sidetracked, teachers giving up on you, apparent long-term efforts with zero gain in German. Tell me more about your mother. I mean, the daunting feelings with Japanese.
Well, I gotta learn a whole new writing system. At least I have things I actually want to read and listen to in Japanese, but I don't want to just learn to speak, or just learn to listen, or something like that. I really need to learn to do it all. Read, write, speak, and understand.
Writing system, okay. At the same time, you do want to do it all, so the desire is all there.
Yeah, it is. I would have loved to go to the Trigun premiere and have even an inkling of what was going on. Oh, and be able to watch anime without having my eyes glued to the screen so I can read the subtitles. Yes, I know there are dubs, but A, they aren't on Hulu, and B, the Japanese voice actors are bitter, and you know it.
LOL. Japanese voice actors are the stuff. Next section. I'm an easy out kind of person. So, how did you feel when you were practicing, or in class? Were you happy? Was it fun?
I think it was fun, but I'm unfortunately an easy out kind of person. That's why I watch TV and play video games so much. It's easy to just turn it on or plug it in and go with it. It's just right there.
Heh, me too.
I love doing my cosplay, but even that is sometimes hard to get motivated on. In general, I have a hard time getting motivated on things where I want a result, but it takes weeks or months before I actually see any results.
Definitely.
I mean, I'll work on it for a little, even be really good for a few weeks, but then work will get crazy or I'll go out of town and it throws me off, and then I forget, and then it's not part of my routine, and then 3 weeks later I'll be like, oh yeah, I was gonna do that, but by that time, it feels like I'm starting from scratch, so I'll be all like, oh well, I'll start when I've got time.
How often do you watch anime, by the way, Mads? Every day?
I really only watch it when my friends get together. I'd watch it more if I could watch and do something else, but even though there's hundreds of hours for free on Hulu, I haven't gotten into anything because it's such a huge commitment, and I can't watch anime while playing a video game like I can with my stupid US shows.
How come?
They're subbed, not dubbed, so I have to watch all the time to read to know what's going on. I listen to TV more than I watch it in general. There are about 4 or 5 shows that I actually sit and watch, and the rest are mostly empty apartment filler. I watch a lot of shows, but very few do I really care about.
Next header. Language learning was harder than anything else in school. Anything else from your language learning experience that sticks in your mind?
I know I had a much harder time with it than just about anything else in school. I'd forget words a lot, blunt memorization isn't any fun, and in some ways it almost felt like cheating. I don't know how to exactly explain that, but yeah, for German, I certainly never drilled or memorized as much as I should have.
Almost felt like cheating. Why did it feel like cheating?
Well, cheating is not the right word for it. It was probably more along the lines of I rarely had to memorize stuff before, so it didn't feel right. It was many years ago, so I'm extrapolating a bit, but I do remember it being harder than anything else. And then after we lost our teacher halfway through, and the next two were so terrible, one of them didn't even speak German, then after that first year, we were all pretty crushed.
Yeah, you guys were abandoned. What good experiences have you had with language learning?
None? No, I'm trying to think. I've never talked to anyone in a foreign language. I've been able to read, the tags of some of the clothes I bought in Japan, but that was very context specific.
Oh yeah? What did they say?
Polyester.
Polyesteru.
Yeah, that. I can recognize enough of the characters to, in context, know that it says polyester. By learning about Japanese, I was able to mispronounce my own language in a way that was easier for them to understand. I doubt that counts.
LOL. In Cat's world, that totally counts, by the way.
On my first round through Japanese class, I was able to put together my first complete original sentence. I think I can still remember it. Maybe.
Next header. You've been abused. Have you read any of AJATT.com? And if so, what have you read of it? Just so we can save you hearing things you already know, smiley face.
I've read some of it. It's been a year, though. I know your view on, you can do anything, just not everything, and your confidence that anyone can do this.
Okay, I'm about to go into soapbox mode, but stop me if you have any questions or objections, or just get bored, especially if you get bored.
Okay.
You've been abused. 1. You've been living in America. This is a very pushily monolingual country. Many people in America are afraid of foreign languages and assume that they are only good for spying, missionary work, and insulting people. All non-English speakers have had trouble passing on heritage languages: Italians, Germans, Chinese, Japanese, even Hispanics. 2. And then there was the German class thing. You kids were screwed over quite royally there. Irresponsible adults.
Well, if you know other languages, or several languages, it could be seen as a mark of intelligence, but that isn't always good in America either, like it's a waste.
LOL, exactly. Richard Hofstadter talks about a lot of the issues behind that in anti-intellectualism in American life. 3. And then there's all the negative brainwashing about language learning in general, and Asian languages in particular. Hard, different, need to be smart, age this, age that. But it's all in the past now. We can deallocate that from memory, which leaves us with you here and now. Next header, just leave Japanese on. Earlier, you talked about wanting results in Japanese, feeling frustrated, feeling daunted, so you watch some Hulu, or listen to American TV or whatever. Basically, you go practice English. Why not just leave Japanese on while you game?
'Cause I don't understand it?
Because you don't understand it. Okay. Say you were to, somehow, have a kid today, by miraculous conception. Would you refuse to speak to the kid in English because she does not understand?
LOLs, yeah, no.
Why do you refuse to allow the Japanese child called Maddie to listen to her native language? Because she doesn't understand? Why does American Maddie get the special treatment? Is it because Maddie is Asian?
Can I really pick up that much just by listening? I've been able to hear phrases that I've learned in my classes, but I don't feel like I've really picked up much that I didn't know beforehand, even though I've watched anime in Japanese with the English subs. I know people have just watched enough in a foreign language to pick it up, but that hasn't seemed to work for me all that much. Maybe I just haven't given it a real chance, though.
Bingo. Cute girls, mathematics, language. Let's just say you had this baby today, this miraculous baby, and you let her listen to English once a week with friends and took her to English class a couple of hours a week, but then nothing happened. Would you just give up and say, she just can't pick up the language? Rhetorical question. And that whole watching Japanese with English subs thing, this is why I recommend people turn off the subs, really, or at least keep them off most of the time, because I found something interesting. When I would watch anime with subs, back before I could understand it, I found that I would recall the anime all in English, even though I watched it subbed, with Japanese voices. The voices would play in my mind completely in English, but maybe that was just me.
Yeah, I do the same.
Oh, you too?
But I often hear text.
Okay, next order of business. So you want results. To be continued. Don't miss the next installment, in which Dr. Khatz warns of the dangers of intellectualizing language learning, extols the virtues of learning in context, and explains why it is important to cut off people that don't accept your cosplay infatuation. Narrator's note, let me know what you think of the voices. If you want me to just read their names, I can do that in the next one. I just didn't want to because some of the lines were so short. I didn't want it to just be repeating the name over and over. But let me know what you think. Adios.